So you found out you had a relative fight in the Civil War. And one of the most common questions we get after that is, what weapon did they carry? So hey, I'm Steve with the Research Arsenal, and today we're going to help you get the information you need to find out exactly what weapon and equipment your ancestor carried when he was fighting the American Civil War. One of the things that I love about American history, especially the Civil War, is you find out that you have an ancestor that that went through this important part of history, and then you want to find more information out, put a bigger picture to the story, to the face, to the name that you may have discovered. And again, one of the comments that we get all the time, we get PMs, we get DMs, we get messages and emails every single day from people who really want to know a deeper meaning, a deeper history to their ancestor. And one of the most common questions is, what weapon did they carry? Whether it's because they want to go out and buy an original to hang on their wall for a memento, or whether they want to get one and shoot it just to find out what it was like to shoot that weapon. There's any variety of reasons why we want to know maybe a bigger picture, more intimate picture of our ancestors. So really, if you're like me, a hobby historian, a Civil War enthusiast, I find that I have ancestors in the Civil War. I don't know where to go beyond that. I mean, we have Ancestor, we have Fold 3, but beyond that, we have no idea. That's why us at the Research Arsenal, we have given you access to every federal ordnance return out there from every active military unit or regiment that fought in the American Civil War. It is this ordnance return that they actually procured quarterly. They actually submitted these documents quarterly that you can actually track. If you know what unit your ancestor fought in, you can track from the beginning of the war to the end of the war on what weapons, accoutrements, and how many rounds of ammunition they were issued. So let's go ahead and dive into the ordnance returns and see what we can find out. So the first step of identifying what weapon your ancestor carried is to understand what the Federal Ordnance Returns is from the National Archives. The National Archives has the quarterly ordnance returns, and what they are is during the war, and they have basically from 1862 to 1865, the regiments on a quarterly basis submitted all their ordnance, and not just weapons, but rounds of ammunition, leather goods, accoutrements, all that good stuff. And so the National Archives has this information, and up until now, until we were able to provide it to you guys digitally on the Research Arsenal, you would have to buy rolls of microfilm, and you didn't really necessarily know what roll your ancestor would be on. So to kind of give you a little bit more background, there's about 8 rolls in the National Archives of the microfilm for the ordnance returns, and roll 1 is through artillery, like all of the artillery through the war is in roll 1. Roll 2 and 3 is all cavalry, and the rest of them, so 4 through 8, is all the infantry from 1862 to 1865. So we can find out what weapon they carried as quick as you can log in. And once you're in the Research Arsenal database, go ahead to the unit filter, type in your unit. For instance, I'll type in the 1st Minnesota Infantry, and then click on what date or quarter you want. There'll be 4 quarters per year, and of course from 62 to 65. I'll give you an idea about how many records you might find, and then hit submit. And what you'll find is a result of many ordnance returns. So go ahead, click on one of those, and what you'll find is when you zoom in, you'll be able to see each company of that regiment. And this is what I love about the ordnance returns, is you can see each company. So if you know what company your ancestor was in, you can find that company and just scroll across to the rest of the spreadsheet to figure out exactly what weapon they were issued. So if you take a look at my example of the 1st Minnesota Infantry, famously they fought at Gettysburg, lost a huge portion of their regiment during a fateful charge on the 2nd day of Gettysburg. I'm going to go ahead and go to 1863, the June quarterly return, and when you zoom in, you can see that they actually had a variety of accoutrements, and of course the Springfield as well. And there's so much more you can get out of it, so I'll go ahead and end it here, but I strongly recommend scrolling through the entire spreadsheet to see what you can find about your ancestor. And if you're not part of the Research Arsenal community already, I strongly recommend that go ahead, create an account, create a membership, and join one of the largest, fastest growing Civil War research databases out there. And if you use the promo code RESEARCH, you'll get a 15% discount on your annual membership. Again, what the Research Arsenal allows you to do is gain access to thousands of ordnance returns that up until this point were not available. And now we allow you to keyword search and filter by unit, by date, by year, by quarter, whatever you want to do. And in addition, addition, what we've broken down in other videos is the letters. We have more than 30,000 letters that are transcribed, digitally keyword searchable, and filterable by unit, by year, by whatever you want. And we also have Civil War photos. If you want to dive into those Library of Congress photos, we actually have a large collection of private photos as well, photos that honestly have not seen wide circulation. If you want to search for a specific unit, specific dates, specific battle, or just what a federal cavalry trooper looked like or what a federal infantry trooper looked like, compare the East Coast Army of the Potomac for the West Coast Army of the Tennessee. There's so much you can grasp out of this database. We strongly recommend that you support this channel, support us, and join one of the largest, fastest growing Civil War databases out there, the Research Arsenal. Until next time, happy searching.